Hey everybody, Blind Wave back. I'm Aaron.
I'm Eric.
And we are back with Arrow Q&As.
Arrow questions.
Yeah.
Aaron, I didn't do these questions this week.
No, you didn't. I did.
Are we going to talk about some Felicity stuff?
Probably not.
Okay. That's fine with me.
We'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
There were some questions, so I think it'll be some good discussion about some things here.
Good.
First one we have is from Unconcerned Ursidae.
The bear.
The bear. Which says, what was Felicity's Plan B? If Curtis had fixed the T-sphere exploding problem. Also, how the fuck does Eric know the Secret Tunnel song? How, Eric?
Secret Tunnel. That one?
I think so, yeah. Isn't that from
The internet.
Avatar?
The internet.
It's from Last Airbender,
Is
right?
it? I don't know. It's on a bunch of, internet videos. It's a meme, I guess. I don't know.
That's it.
How...
And as far as, the T-sphere thing, because she was like, no, these aren't meant for doing this, but Curtis has an exploding problem with these, right?
Yeah.
So what if he had fixed those?
What if he had fixed it? I mean, he can fix her spine by hacking it, but he can't fix explodey balls. What are they supposed to do?
Huh?
Where